Hey, is someone challenging your authority right now? Maybe it hasn't happened today, but it's gonna happen. And when it does, your body is going to betray you before your mind even knows what's going on. It's gonna take a while to catch up, right? Now, what'll happen is your heart rate will spike, your jaw will tighten, your voice will shift register, and every person in that room, consciously or not, will read it. That's not weakness, that's neuroscience. And I want to tell you, it's a 200 million year old survival mechanism firing inside the boardroom and inside you. Unfortunately, most leaders have no idea it's happening, let alone know how to stop it. So what I'm going to show you today is a technique I call neural anchoring. Now, it's grounded in vagus nerve science and prefrontal cortex activation. And once you build this skill, you will never lose the room to a psychological hijack. So stay with me through this video, and I'm going to show you the full 3-step protocol. It's going to be a journey, so stay with me on this journey. So here's what's actually happening inside your body when someone challenges you in a high-stakes environment. Your amygdala, your brain goes into a threat detection system. That's right, bum, 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 bum. It registers the challenge as a survival threat. Now, it doesn't know the difference between predator and confrontational subordinate. It just knows status is under attack. Now, the moment that it signals this fire, adrenaline kicks in. And it's in milliseconds. That's right, it's so fast. How do you get on top of it? Now, what happens is the cognitive load shifts from your prefrontal cortex, where your executive reasoning, emotional regulation, and language lives. Make sense? Down to the midbrain. Now, you lose access to your most sophisticated thinking precisely when you need it. That's right. Neuroscience call this the amygdala hijack. I call it the presence gap. The gap between who you actually are as a leader and who the room sees in that moment, right? Who they see in the moment. Now, here's the insight that changes everything. The vagus nerve, your body's primary parasympathetic channel, runs directly between your brain and your gut. That's right, your brain and your gut. And it's the fastest pathway back to your prefrontal axis. Now, if you know how to activate it deliberately, you can interrupt a psychological hijack in under 8 seconds. So this is what neural anchoring does. So exciting. It's not a mindset hack. It's not stay calm. It's not a precise neurobiological protocol, right? Let me show you how it works. The anatomy of a professional confrontation. Let me walk you through what a hijack actually looks like in real time, because most leaders only recognize it after the fact, when the damage is done. Phase 1, the challenge lands. A peer contradicts you publicly. Been there? I've been there. A subordinate questions your decision in front of the team. Been there? I've been there. A senior stakeholder implies you're not across the detail. Don't ever tell me that. Phase 2, your body responds before your brain does. Micro tension in the shoulders or the jaw, a slight rise in vocal pitch, a pause that runs 3 seconds too long. You may not even notice this, but everyone else does. So let's move to phase 3. You respond from the midbrain. This is where it gets costly, so costly. Defensive language, over-explanation, aggression. Now, all 3 phases can happen in the 10 seconds. And once that pattern completes, only the room has read your body and processed your response. The authority damage is done. It's over, dead. It's been buried. You missed your chance. And here's the good news. Neural anchoring interrupts this cycle between phase 1 and 2. You intercept the hijack before it reaches your voice, your posture, or your language. Sound good? So that's the window, and it's smaller than you think. And that's why it needs to be pre-built as a reflex, not in the moment as a decision. So let's take you through the 3 steps, right? So step 1. The moment the challenge lands, your first move is not cognitive, right? Before you form a single word. So here's your technique. Press the pad of your thumb firmly against the inside of your index finger. Can you see it? enough pressure to feel it. This isn't a power pose. It isn't visible to anyone in the room, but it sends a beautiful signal to your nervous system that you are physically present and stable. That signal competes for the adrenaline spike and delays its full expression by several critical seconds. Simultaneously, drop your gaze very slightly. Not enough to look away, but enough to shift focus from the challenger's face to a neutral point. This is going to reduce that threat signal, that intensity reaching the amygdala. Now, this first step buys you 3 seconds. You need to execute step 2, okay? So step 2 is our vagal activation. Now we activate the vagus nerve, the fastest non-pharmaceutical way to shift your automatic nervous system from sympathetic dominance, from fight or flight, into a parasympathetic regulation. And it's through extended exhale breathing. And here's exactly how to do this invisibly in a professional setting. As the challenge lands, you breathe in slowly through your nose, 2 counts. Then you extend the exhale to 4 counts. In for 2, out for 4. You're so good already, right? So what I want you to do is press the pad of your thumb to your index finger. Do that with me. You're in the meeting. Nobody's going to notice, right? Now you're going to breathe in for 2 through the nose. Now you're going to exhale for 4. So the exhale is longer. 1, 2, 3, 4. Beautiful. Well done. That extended exhale activates the vagal brake. Cortisol production will slow. Your heart rate variability will stabilize. And critically, your blood flow will begin again, returning to your prefrontal cortex. You are literally getting smarter in real time while the hijack tries to take a hold. So this happens in the space of what looks to the room like a considered pause. You're not stalling. You're not frozen. You're running a neurobiological reset that most people in that room have never even heard of. And it was my secret weapon. CEO in my 20s and a CEO for 30 years. I've been in more uncomfortable situations than you can count. And I've had to make very difficult decisions. And I've often come under significant threat from boards, from directors, and from staff, and from community. And so I can tell you those 2 steps really helped me to stay centered and grounded. So let's move to step 3. Now comes the most important element, the anchor point itself. This is what separates neural anchoring from generic breathing techniques. The anchor point is a preset internal metric that you build in advance outside of the confrontation. And it literally replaces the need for external validation in that moment. So here's what I mean. Most leaders, when challenged, unconsciously scan the room for validation signals. Did anyone nod? Is my sponsor in the room? You see, that external scanning is catastrophic under pressure because it puts your authority in the hands of other people's faces. Your anchor point is a single internal statement of grounded truth that you activate instead. It might be a decision that you made that you knew was right, a result you delivered that is not in question, a value you hold that is beyond the reach of this confrontation, something internal that no challenge can touch. I was a very young CEO in my 20s, and I would be in a room filled with board members, people challenging me, and I'd quite often forget that I was the CEO because my leap was very fast. And so I would say to myself as an anchor, I am the CEO. Remember, you're the CEO, right? Now, that little anchor allowed me to take control. So think about it. Let's think about this really clearly. When you have an anchor, you are able to anchor into that and stay very present in the moment. So when you activate your anchor point, then your nervous system stops seeking external permission to feel authoritative. You're no longer responding to the challenger's reality. You're responding from your reality. That shift, it's invisible in the room, and it's what they need as unshakable composure. So how do you build this anchor point? Sounds good, Claire, but how do I build it? It can only work if it's pre-built. You cannot construct it under pressure. So I'm going to give you a 3-question framework to build yours right now with me. So question 1, what is a decision I made in the last 12 months that I am certain was right, regardless of how others initially perceived it? Question 2, what do I know about this domain, my team, this problem, this organization, that my challenger does not know, that the other person in the room challenging me does not know? What do I know? Question 3, what value or standard do I hold that this challenge cannot actually undermine? Write the answers down, then distill them into a single sentence, ideally fewer than 12 words, that you can activate in under 2 seconds. This is your anchor point. It is specific to you. It is non-transferable, and it is the neurological foundation of your executive presence under fire. The complete framework for building and testing your anchor point, including how to rehearse it under simulated pressure so that it fires automatically. I will write the 3 questions in the comments so you can quickly get them, write them down, and get your anchor point for the next meeting. Okay? So when you go into your next meeting, what are you going to do? You're going to have an anchor point, right? You're going to have a statement that you've got ready before you even go in the meeting. And you're going to construct it on the 3 questions that I gave you. When you're in the room and you're challenged, I want you to think about this. I want you to grab your thumb and I want you to grab your index finger and press them together. No one will notice. And then you're going to do your breathing. So breathe in for 2 and you breathe out for 4. Your exhale is really important. Then you're going to regulate yourself in real time, but you got an anchor point. You're already on the way to amazing success. The leaders who command rooms under fire are not naturally calm. They are neurobiologically prepared. The presence gap, the gap between your actual authority and what the room perceives. So we want to close that, right? We want to close it and get you in control of your nervous system. Now, neural anchoring is one of the 7 protocols that I use in my identity anchoring with coaching and training leaders. The one thing that you'll get from me is real tips on leadership, real actual things that can help you as a leader. Because I know what it's like under pressure, in difficult situations, under crisis, under fire. And I can tell you that the way that you get through it is to be centered and grounded, to find your anchor, the thing that can help you in that moment. But you also need techniques to regulate your breathing, to stay in control. And that's what I love about what I have done, because I've survived 30 years as a CEO. That's no mean feat. How did I do it? I anchored my identity into the person I knew I was capable of, and I learned the techniques to keep me centered and grounded, because it would have been really easy to be knocked over if I kept looking externally. I needed to look internally, and you do too. If this video landed with you, and if you've been in that room and you felt your body betray you when it mattered the most, then share this video with a leader who needs it. If you'd like a copy of my guide to the presence gap, then please DM me presence and I will send you a copy. If you like this video, then please subscribe to my channel, hear more about leadership, and really get yourself into a place where you can manage any situation under pressure, under fire. I'm Dr. Clare Allen, and I'll see you in the next one.